The whispers woke me first. Soft, urgent whispers floating up from downstairs, punctuated by the occasional drunken giggle. My wife Joanna wasn't usually this careless when she came home late from her girls' nights. I'm Dawson, and until that moment, I thought I had the perfect marriage. The bedside clock read 1:47 a.m. I stayed perfectly still, eyes closed, breathing steady. Years of meditation had taught me how to feign sleep convincingly. The bedroom door creaked open, and Joanna's designer heels clicked softly across our hardwood floors. I know, she whispered into her phone. I had to wait until everyone left. Yes, I miss you too. My chest tightened, but I kept my breathing even. 10 years of marriage had taught me to trust my instincts, and right now, every cell in my body screamed that something was wrong. He's sleeping, Joanna continued, her voice barely audible. Like always. So boring, so safe. She laughed softly. That's why I married him, remember? The perfect financial advisor, my safety net. The words hit like ice water in my veins. I wanted to sit up, to confront her, to demand answers. Instead, I remained motionless, gathering intelligence like the rational man I'd always prided myself on being. I love you too, Michael, she breathed. Soon, baby. I promise. Michael. The name burned into my memory as Joanna stumbled into our ensuite bathroom. The shower started running, probably to wash away the evidence of wherever she'd really been tonight. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, reconstructing our marriage in my mind. The house I'd worked 12 years to afford. The fertility treatments we were supposed to start next month. The anniversary trip to Paris I'd been secretly planning. When Joanna finally slipped into bed, she smelled of my expensive shower gel and mint toothpaste. She cuddled up to me like nothing was wrong, like she hadn't just shattered our entire world with a whispered phone call. Dawson, she murmured, are you awake? I kept my breathing steady, playing the role of the trusting husband. She kissed my cheek and settled in beside me. Morning came too quickly. I went through our usual routine on autopilot, watching Joanna with new eyes as she flitted around the kitchen in her silk robe, making coffee and toast like any other day. How was girls' night? I asked, keeping my voice casual. Oh, she smiled, that perfect smile I'd fallen in love with. Just wine and gossip with Sarah and Kate. Nothing exciting. I nodded, noting how easily the lies fell from her lips. You got in pretty late. Did I wake you? She touched my arm apologetically. I tried to be quiet. No. Slept right through it. I smiled back, matching her lie with one of my own. After she left for work, I found myself drawn to her gym bag, sitting innocently by the door. Something compelled me to check the side pocket, the one she always kept zipped shut. Inside was a second phone, slim and black, password protected. My hands didn't shake as I held it. My breath didn't catch. Instead, a strange calm settled over me as pieces of a puzzle I hadn't known existed started falling into place. I took a photo of the phone with my own, then carefully returned it exactly as I'd found it. Walking to my home office, I pulled up my sister Mia's number. If anyone would know how to handle this with the precision it deserved, it would be her. The phone rang twice before she picked up. Hey, big brother, what's up? I took a deep breath. Mia, I need your help. And I need you to not ask questions yet. You need to be smart about this, Mia said, pacing my office while Brent sat in the corner taking notes. If she's really cheating, you can't just confront her. You need proof. I'd called them both over during lunch, knowing Joanna wouldn't be home until evening. Brent, my best friend since college, and now a private investigator, hadn't said much yet. He was processing, analyzing, just like he'd taught me to do during our time working security together. The second phone is just the beginning, I said, showing them the photo I'd taken. Last night she was talking to someone named Michael, called me her safety net. Mia's face darkened. That bitch. After everything you've done for her? Here's what we do. Brent finally spoke, his voice calm and measured. First, we protect your assets. All of them. Then, we gather evidence. Hard evidence that'll hold up in court. I nodded, feeling the familiar comfort of having a plan. What kind of evidence? Everything. Text messages, photos, video if possible. Bank statements showing any money she spent on him. Brent leaned forward. And Dawson? We do this quietly. She can't suspect anything. I can help with the assets, Mia offered. We'll set up an irrevocable trust in my name. She won't be able to touch a penny. My phone buzzed. A text from Joanna. Working late tonight, honey. Don't wait up. I showed it to them. Brent immediately pulled out his laptop. Give me her full name and the area she works in. I'll have someone watch her tonight. You really think she's meeting him? I asked, though I already knew the answer. Only one way to find out, Brent replied, typing rapidly. I'm also going to set you up with some surveillance equipment for the house. Cameras, audio recorders, the works. Mia touched my shoulder. Are you sure you can handle this? Playing normal while we gather evidence? I have to. I squared my shoulders. She's been playing her game for who knows how long. Now it's my turn. The rest of the afternoon was a blur of paperwork and planning. Mia called her lawyer friend to start the trust paperwork. Brent ordered surveillance equipment with same-day delivery. I transferred most of our liquid assets to a new account only I could access. By evening, I was back home, cooking dinner I knew wouldn't be eaten, playing the role of oblivious husband. My phone buzzed again. So sorry, baby. Huge project due tomorrow. Ordering takeout at the office. Miss you. I opened our banking app and watched in real time as a charge appeared from La Maison Rouge. Definitely not takeout at the office. I took a screenshot and sent it to Brent. 10 minutes later, my phone lit up with a message from him. She's there, not alone. My hands didn't shake as I typed back, "Get pictures." I was about to set my phone down when another message appeared, but this one wasn't meant for me. Joanna had accidentally sent it to our shared tablet, which was synced to her main phone. From M. Can't wait to finally be in your bed. He'll never know. I stared at the message, watching 3 dots appear as Michael typed more. But before his next message came through, Joanna must have realized her mistake. The message disappeared, deleted from the cloud. Too late. I'd already taken a screenshot. I walked to our bedroom and opened her side of the closet, looking at all the expensive clothes I'd bought her over the years. Designer dresses, handbags, shoes, all paid for by her safety net. Don't worry, Joanna, I whispered to the empty room. You'll get exactly what you deserve. Over the next week, evidence piled up like bodies in a morgue. Each new discovery killed another memory of our marriage. Look at this, Brent said, spreading photos across my office desk. Taken yesterday at the Marriott downtown. The images showed Joanna entering the hotel at 2 p.m., followed by a tall man with dark hair. Michael. They emerged 3 hours later, Joanna fixing her lipstick in the lobby mirror. There's more, Brent continued, pulling up bank statements. She's been withdrawing cash every Friday, $200 each time. Hotel money, I said flatly. And this. He pointed to a transaction from 3 days ago. Bail bonds, $1,500. I leaned forward. Bail? Your wife's boyfriend got himself a DUI last week. Guess who paid to get him out? The cameras I'd installed caught everything now. Joanna sending selfies in lingerie when she thought I was in the shower. Voice notes to Michael while I was at work. I hate sleeping next to him now. I can barely stand his touch. I watched it all with a detachment that surprised me. The pain was there, but buried under layers of cold determination. One evening, while Joanna was at yoga, I found myself staring at a photo on her dresser. It showed her parents on their wedding day, before her father's affair tore the family apart. I remembered holding Joanna while she cried about it years ago. I'll never forgive him, she'd sobbed. He destroyed everything. Mum never recovered. The irony was bitter in my mouth. My phone buzzed. Mia. Trust paperwork is done. Everything's secure. Good timing. That morning, I'd discovered Joanna had tried accessing our investment accounts. The password had been changed weeks ago. She'd have to ask me about it eventually. She did, that night over dinner. "Honey?" Her voice was sweet, practiced. "I tried checking our portfolio today, but I couldn't get in." I took a slow sip of wine. "Really? That's weird. I'll look into it. It's just..." She hesitated. "I was thinking about making some investments of my own. With our money." I kept my tone curious, not accusatory. "Well, our joint money, yes." She reached across the table, touching my hand. "Don't you trust me?" I smiled, remembering the hotel photos. "Of course I do." Later, I heard her on that second phone in the bathroom, speaking in harsh whispers. "He's being difficult about the money. We might have to wait longer." "Patience," I muttered to myself, checking the camera feeds on my laptop. Just a little longer. The next morning, a message popped up on the tablet. Another mistake on her part. M. "Next Friday when he's on that conference call, be ready for me." I forwarded the screenshot to Brent and Mia. Time to set the final trap. "I have that big conference call next Friday," I told Joanna over breakfast. "Probably take all afternoon." Her eyes lit up for a fraction of a second. "Oh, that's too bad. I was thinking of taking the afternoon off to deep clean the house." "Deep clean?" I raised an eyebrow. "You hate cleaning." She laughed, the sound hollow now that I knew what it really meant. "Well, spring cleaning and all that. Maybe rearrange some furniture." "Whatever makes you happy," I said, watching her text under the table. That evening, I found her in our walk-in closet, reorganizing her shoes. She didn't notice me testing the space behind her hanging dresses, measuring sight lines, checking angles. Perfect. Next Friday, I'd give her exactly what she wanted. An empty house and plenty of time. But I'd be there too. Hidden, watching, waiting. The closet would make an excellent front row seat to her destruction. "Everything's in place," Sampson said, sliding the final papers across his desk. "The trust is ironclad. Even if she contests the divorce, she can't touch those assets." I signed where indicated, each signature another nail in the coffin of my marriage. And the house? Transferred to the trust last week. The lawyer's expression remained professionally neutral. "You've done well protecting yourself, Dawson. Most men in your position act on emotion. They make mistakes." If only he knew how much emotion I was suppressing. Back home, I watched through the security app as Joanna prepared for Friday. She thought I couldn't see her changing the sheets to silk, placing scented candles around our bedroom, testing the lighting for the perfect glow. My phone buzzed. "Mia, got Mom's old divorce papers from the courthouse. You sure about this?" "Yes," I texted back. "Joanna needs to understand the legacy she's creating." Wednesday night, Joanna tried a test run. "Honey, what time is that call on Friday?" 2 p.m., I answered, pretending to focus on my laptop. "Probably run till 5 or 6. Why?" "Just wondering if you wanted to grab dinner after." She smiled that practiced smile. "Unless you'll be too tired. Probably better to eat at home," I said. "You can tell me all about your cleaning day." Thursday morning, I caught her shaving in the shower, something she hadn't done for me in months. She spent an hour picking out clothes, finally settling on a red dress I'd never seen before. "New dress?" I asked casually. "Oh, this old thing." She held it up. "Found it in the back of the closet. Thought I might wear it for you sometime." "For me?" Right. That afternoon I met Brent to check the camera feeds one last time. "Everything's recording to secure cloud storage," he confirmed. "Audio and video, multiple angles. Nothing will be missed." "And the exterior cameras?" "All set. We'll see anyone approaching from any direction." I nodded, then showed him the divorce papers. "Think it's too much?" "Her mother's divorce papers?" Brent whistled low. "That's cold, man. But she deserves it. That night I barely slept." Joanna tossed and turned beside me, probably excited about her upcoming rendezvous. Around 3 a.m., I heard her on that second phone again. "Tomorrow, baby." "Yes, I'll wear it." "No, he has no idea. I've got it all planned." Friday morning arrived with painful clarity. I kissed Joanna goodbye, told her I'd be working from my home office until the call. She practically glowed with anticipation. "Don't work too hard," she called after me. "Maybe we can do something nice this evening?" The audacity almost made me laugh. At 1:30, I made a show of setting up my laptop in the office, leaving my suit jacket draped over the chair. Then I slipped quietly into the master bedroom closet, positioning myself behind the hanging clothes where I'd already prepared a small chair. Through gaps in the dresses, I watched Joanna enter at 1:45. She showered, perfumed herself, and slipped into the red dress. The security app on my silent phone showed a car approaching. "He's here," she whispered into her phone. God, I'm so ready for this. I heard our front door open. Footsteps on the stairs. Joanna's excited breathing. "Baby," a male voice called out. "Where are you?" "Bedroom," she answered. "I've been waiting so long." I steadied my hands on the small camera, finger on the record button. The bedroom door opened. It was time to watch my wife destroy herself. Michael swaggered into our bedroom like he owned it, tall, dark-haired, wearing an expensive watch that my money had probably bought. Joanna ran to him, throwing herself into his arms with an enthusiasm she hadn't shown me in years. "God, you look amazing," he growled, hands sliding down her red dress. "Turn around, let me see you." She twirled for him, giggling like a schoolgirl. "You like? I bought it just for today." From my hidden position, I started recording. Every touch, every word, every betrayal in perfect HD. "Your boring husband has no idea how lucky he is," Michael said, pulling her close, "or how unlucky he's about to be." They kissed, deep and passionate, right next to the wedding photo on our dresser. My hands stayed steady on the camera as they moved toward the bed. Our bed, where I'd held her through nightmares and nursed her through flu seasons. "Wait." Joanna pulled back, breathless. "Let me light the candles. Make it perfect." "Perfect for what?" Michael teased, already unbuttoning his shirt. "For celebrating." She lit each candle carefully. I finally figured out how to access his investment accounts. Once I get the passwords reset, we're set. My jaw clenched. So that's why she'd been asking about the portfolio. "How much are we talking about?" Michael sprawled across my pillows. "Millions," Joanna purred, climbing onto the bed. "He's been saving since before we met. Such a careful little squirrel." They laughed together, mocking everything I'd worked for. Everything I'd built. "When?" Michael asked between kisses. "Soon. A few more weeks of playing the perfect wife." She straddled him, still wearing that red dress. "Then we'll have everything. The house, the money, all of it. And him? He'll never see it coming. Poor, trusting Dawson." She started unbuttoning the dress. "He actually thinks I'm cleaning today." The dress fell away. Michael's hands roamed freely over my wife's body as she moaned his name. I kept recording, my emotions locked away behind a wall of ice. "I love you," she whispered to him. "I've never loved anyone like this." "Prove it," he challenged. What followed was 30 minutes of evidence that would destroy her in any divorce court. They weren't just having sex. They were putting on a show, complete with running commentary about me. Better than your husband. So much better. He's so boring. So vanilla. Tell me you're mine. Always yours. Only yours. Finally, they lay tangled in my sheets, catching their breath. Michael lit a cigarette, in my non-smoking house, and blew smoke rings toward the ceiling. "When we're rich enough," Joanna sighed, "I'll divorce him. He'll never see it coming." That was my cue. I pressed stop on the recording and stepped out from behind the clothes, phone in hand. They didn't notice me at first, too wrapped up in their afterglow. "Actually," I said quietly, "he saw it coming perfectly." Joanna screamed. Michael bolted upright, scrambling for his clothes. I held up my phone, the red recording light still blinking. "Don't bother getting dressed on my account," I said, my voice eerily calm. "The cameras caught everything, including your little financial planning session." "Dawson," Joanna clutched the sheets to her chest. "I can explain." "Can you explain this too?" I pulled out the envelope I'd been saving and tossed it onto the bed. Her mother's divorce papers spilled across the silk sheets. "How fitting," I continued as she stared at the documents in horror. "Like mother, like daughter. Only this time, you're not the victim. You're the villain." Michael was still frozen, pants half on. I turned to him with a cold smile. "I'd run if I were you. The show's about to get much worse." Michael fled like the coward he was, leaving Joanna alone to face what she'd done. She sat trembling in our bed, still clutching the sheets, staring at her mother's divorce papers. "How long have you been watching?" she whispered. "Long enough." I held up my phone. "But more importantly, how long have you been planning to steal from me?" "I wasn't—" she started, but I cut her off. "Don't. I heard everything. The investment accounts, the house, all of it." I moved to the dresser, picking up our wedding photo. "You know what the funny thing is? I actually transferred everything weeks ago. There's nothing left for you to steal." Her face went pale. "What do you mean, transferred?" "The house, the accounts, everything. It's all in an irrevocable trust now." I set the photo face down. "You married a financial advisor, remember? Your safety net." "Dawson, please." She stood, wrapping the sheet around herself. "We can work this out. I'll do anything. Like you worked it out with your father." I gestured to the divorce papers. "I remember how you cried about his affair. How you said you'd never forgive him for what he did to your mother." Tears started rolling down her cheeks. "This is different." "You're right, it is different." I pulled out my phone. "Because I have video evidence of everything. Your mother's going to love watching you destroy your marriage in the same bed she helped me pick out for our wedding." "No!" She lunged for the phone, but I stepped back. "You can't show my mother. Please, she'll never forgive me." "Like you never forgave your father." I smiled coldly. "That's the point, Joanna." "I'll sign anything," she begged. "I'll walk away with nothing. Just don't send it to her." I walked to the door, then turned back. "Remember what your mother said to your father when she caught him? Those exact words you told me about." Joanna's face crumpled. She knew what was coming. "Get out," I quoted. "You've already broken everything." She started sobbing, but I wasn't finished. "Oh, and Joanna, I already emailed the footage to your mother. Check your phone. She's probably trying to reach you right now." As if on cue, her phone started buzzing on the nightstand. Her mother's name flashed on the screen. "You have 1 hour to get your essential belongings," I said, my voice steady. "After that, the locks change, and security will be here to remove you if necessary. Where am I supposed to go?" "Maybe Michael has room, though from what my PI found, he's 3 months behind on his rent." I shrugged. Not my problem anymore. Her phone kept buzzing as I left the room. I heard her scrambling to get dressed, probably trying to figure out how to explain this to her mother, the same mother who'd raised her in the church, who'd taught her that adultery was unforgivable. In my office, I sent a quick text to Brent. "It's done. Start the next phase." Then I called Mia. "Hey sis, remember that vacation you said I should take? Book it, somewhere far away." "Already on it," she replied. "How'd it go?" Through the security cameras, I watched Joanna frantically shoving clothes into a suitcase, mascara running down her face. "Exactly as planned," I said. "She's about to learn what it feels like when your entire world burns down around you." "Good," Mia said firmly. "Let it burn." Joanna tried coming back 3 times that first day. The security cameras caught every moment, her pounding on the door, mascara-stained face pressed against our doorbell camera, begging to talk. I watched it all from my office while methodically executing the next phase of my plan. "Ready?" Brent asked over the phone. Do it. Within minutes, carefully edited footage from our bedroom cameras started appearing online. First on Facebook, then the local community forums. I'd removed the explicit content but left everything else. The plotting, the theft plans, the cruel laughter at my expense. My phone exploded with notifications. Friends, colleagues, neighbours, all expressing shock and support. But the real hammer fell when the footage hit her mother's church group chat. Serenity's message came through at 3:47 p.m. I raised you better than this. Your father's sin lives in you now. I watched through the doorbell camera as Joanna sat on our porch steps, frantically typing on her phone, probably trying to contain the damage. But it was too late. The truth was spreading like wildfire through her carefully curated social circles. Mr. Kelly's office, my secretary's voice crackled through the intercom. Joanna's here demanding to see you. Tell her I'm in a meeting, I replied, and call security. Through the office cameras, I watched 2 guards escort her out. She was still wearing that red dress. You've ruined me, she screamed at the building. Are you happy now? My phone buzzed. A message from her mother. I'm at her workplace. It ends today. I pulled up the security feed from Joanna's office building. Brent had arranged access days ago. Serenity stormed through the lobby like an avenging angel, Bible clutched in one hand, phone displaying the damning footage in the other. Where is my daughter? Her voice rang through the marble atrium. Where is the adulteress? Joanna emerged from the elevator, face white with horror. Mom, please, you dare call me that? Serenity's voice carried through the lobby. After you became everything we despised? Everything that destroyed our family? Employees gathered, phones recording. Joanna tried to pull her mother into a conference room, but Serenity stood firm. Let them watch, she declared. Let them see what you really are. I almost felt sorry for Joanna. Almost. By evening, she'd been fired. Company policy about moral conduct violations. Her social media accounts were flooded with condemnation. The country club rescinded her membership. Her church asked her not to return. It's done, Mia texted. She's completely cut off. No money, no status, no reputation. I poured myself a scotch and watched the sunset from my office. A final message popped up on my phone. From Michael. Look, man, I'm sorry. She told me you guys were basically separated. I forwarded his message to his employer, along with proof he'd been meeting Joanna during work hours. His termination email arrived 20 minutes later. That night, I slept in my bed, freshly stripped of silk sheets and memories, for the first time since catching her whispers. My phone buzzed one last time. Serenity again. You were too good for her, just like I was too good for her father. God's justice comes in many forms. I smiled, thinking of Joanna probably crying in some cheap motel, her carefully constructed world in ashes around her. Yes, I texted back. It certainly does. The doorbell camera alert chimed as I was packing for Bali. A thick envelope lay on my doorstep, Joanna's flowing handwriting across the front. Burn it, Mia advised over the phone. Don't give her another chance to manipulate you. Already ahead of you. I carried the unopened letter to the fire pit on my newly redesigned patio. The flames consumed her words, turning them to ash just like her lies. My phone buzzed with a text from Brent. Thought you'd want to know. Michael's car got repossessed yesterday. Your wife's boyfriend is living with his parents now. Ex-wife, I corrected. The divorce was finalized this morning. Sampson had made sure the proceedings were quick and clean. Joanna didn't contest anything. She couldn't, not with the evidence we had. She walked away with exactly what she deserved. Nothing. The doorbell rang. This time it was Serenity, holding a small box. These belong to you, she said when I opened the door. Inside were photos from our wedding, gifts I'd given Joanna over the years. I found them in her childhood room. She's not welcome to store things in my house anymore. Would you like some coffee? I offered, surprising myself. She hesitated. then nodded. We sat on my patio, watching the last of Joanna's letter turn to ash. "I saw her yesterday," Serenity said quietly, "working as a waitress at that diner on 5th Street. She tried to hug me. I walked out." "How did that feel?" "Like justice." She sipped her coffee. "The same justice you served her, but colder. A mother's version." My phone buzzed again. A message from an unknown number. "I miss you. Please, I have nothing left. J." I showed it to Serenity, who shook her head. "Block her, like I did her father when he tried crawling back." "Already done." I clicked the block button. "I'm leaving for Bali tomorrow. Time for a fresh start." "Good." Serenity stood to leave, then paused. "You know, I prayed for her to find a man like you. Someone stable, loving, faithful. But she was too much like him, always wanting more, never satisfied with blessings given." After she left, I walked through my house. My house, not ours anymore. The walls were repainted, furniture rearranged, all traces of Joanna erased. In the bedroom, I opened the closet where I'd hidden that day. The space felt smaller now, less significant. The doorbell camera chimed one last time. Joanna stood there, mascara perfect, wearing that red dress again. "Dawson," she called out, knowing I could hear through the camera. "Please, I know you're in there. I have nothing left, no one left. You've taken everything." I watched through the app as she pressed her hand against the door. "I was wrong," she continued. "So wrong. I'll do anything to fix this." I clicked the intercom button. "Goodbye, Joanna." She jumped at my voice. "Wait, please. I love you." "No," I said calmly. "You loved what I provided. There's a difference. Give me another chance," she begged. "One chance to prove." "I gave you everything," I cut her off. "Even the chance to destroy me. But in the end, I gave you what you gave me, nothing." I turned off the camera feed and finished packing my suitcase. Tomorrow, I'd be on a beach halfway around the world, starting my new life. And Joanna? She'd be exactly where she put herself. Alone, with nothing but the consequences of her choices to keep her company.